One thing that really helped me when I was really depressed was learning how to use my time and energy for myself again. Because when you're depressed, there's already the things you're supposed to be doing. Replying to messages, working, cleaning, exercising, trying to get your life together. But even though you know all that, you just can't move. And then the guilt starts building up again because you couldn't do any of it. So I started simplifying my life as much as possible. The first thing I did was distance myself from people I didn't really have energy for anymore. Not necessarily bad people. Sometimes they were family, friends, coworkers. But I'm a pretty sensitive person. And when people constantly talk about their problems, I observe it really deeply. I start feeling emotionally drained, like my energy is just slowly being drained out of me. I still cared about those people, but for the first time, I started choosing myself a little more. The second thing I stopped doing was tolerating disrespect. To be honest, depression is terrible, but weirdly, one thing it does do is make you realize what you can't tolerate anymore. I used to hurt everything in. I would stay quiet, keep being understanding, keep brushing things off until eventually I exploded. But now, if someone repeatedly says something rude or keeps crossing boundaries, I say something, not aggressively, not emotionally, just clearly. A while ago, I told someone that I mostly read classics and novels instead of the motivational books, and she looked at me and said, "Well, that explains why your life is such a mess." And honestly, the old version of me probably just smiled and stayed quiet. But this time I said, I respect the way you choose to live your life, but telling other people how to live their lives is actually pretty rude. And what was interesting was her reaction. She looked genuinely surprised, like she had never thought about the possibility that maybe she was hurting someone. I think some people get very comfortable being listened to, but the moment you start expressing yourself clearly, they don't know what to do with it. They get uncomfortable. So sometimes it's not someone you truly need in your life. It's better to quietly distance yourself. But if it's someone you still have to see, I think it's okay to say it clearly. It's okay to tell people when they cross the line. And maybe we need to learn how to say no politely more than we think. The third thing I started doing was focusing on just one thing a day. Whenever life felt too heavy, this was a way I always came back to. I simplified everything: money, relationship, my schedule, the number of decisions I had to make. Because when you're so depressed, even small things can feel like too much. So instead of constantly asking myself what is the most important thing I should be doing right now, I started asking what would feel gentle right now. And strangely, that helped a lot. Then later, when I had a little more energy again, I could slowly come back to the important things one by one. Honestly, none of this was revolutionary. It was like creating distance from people who drained me, being honest when someone crosses a line, and giving myself permission to do just one meaningful thing a day, but little by little. Those small changes helped me come back to life again.